Billy Joe Saunders. So his next fight is announced. December the 4th. Martin Murray. Oh boy. Am I surprised? No. It was the name on many people's minds, including mine. It was the first name on many people's lists because it was a routine title defence, to be fair. I mean, Martin Murray he was past it a couple of years ago, truth be told. Like, I mean, when he lost to Hassan and Dam, he was past it. I mean, I was going to say off the top of my head, but I'm going to check my phone because that's what I do. Poor choice of words, not off the top of my head. Let's look at this, right? Martin Murray over the last few years, right? Lost to Hassan and Dam. Alright, that was on the Warrington Frampton undercard. He effectively retired after that fight, but then came back in July of last year, won a 10-rounder, then he had an 8-rounder. I think they were on MTK shows, and they were at super middleweight. I mean, one guy was 10-8, the other guy was 27-4. I don't know how that gets you even a ranking. I really don't know how that gets you a ranking at super middleweight when, they're fighting guys like that. So I don't know how you can justify being an opponent having had 2 wins over absolute nobodies. Beat Robert Garcia, I should say. I mean, he had to say he'd seen better days was an understatement. Had a majority decision over Gabe Rosado. Rosado was a tough guy. Lost to George Groves. Lost to Arthur Abraham, split decision. It was split, but Abraham won the fight. Took a hell of a beating against Triple G, Dominic Spade. The Sergio Martinez fight was close. That was in Argentina. You can feel a bit hard done by in that. I mean, really, it's not... Every time he stepped up to world level, Martin Murray, he's been found wanting. He's been competitive, but Hassan and Dam is not a world level middleweight, certainly not at this stage. And Hassan and Dam was able to get the win. Hassan and Dam lost to Murata, beat Murray, and then lost to Callum Smith. So it shows where Hassan and Dam is. Billy Joe, since he won that world title at 168 pounds, he's defended it against a middleweight, a guy who is a middleweight in Marcelo Esteban Carrasas. I mean, go look at his box rec, he's a middleweight. And now he's fighting against Martin Murray, basically a middleweight. So Billy Joe, although he's campaigning at super middleweight, Billy Joe is still a middleweight, realistically. Realistically he is. So this fight is happening on a Friday. It's a routine title defence. Obviously they're trying to get the Callum Smith fight or the Canelo fight next year. I mean, Smith, I don't know when he's fighting again, because we were hearing about Billy Joe being out, in November and thing, but we've not really heard anything from Team Smith as to whether he'll be out again next. I would imagine if he is out, it'll probably be sometime next year, early next year, and maybe they'll try and get a unification done. If the Canelo fight is not on the table still for Billy Joe, who knows? But that's kind of the way it is there. My thoughts on this, right? I mean, I'm not surprised in a way, because Martin Murray was, if they think there's bigger fights in the pipeline for Billy Joe, like Callum Smith or like Canelo, would you risk him against someone like a John Ryder or a Fedor Chudinov? Where they're competitive fights. Billy Joe, we know, is erratic, with how he is outside the ring, getting suspensions, ballooning up in weight, doing silly things, sporadic performances, his performances where he looks great 1 minute and then in the next fight he's just fighting to the level of the opposition, where he's just not interested in having competitive fights where they really shouldn't be competitive. So Billy Joe against Martin Murray, as I said, this fight was meant to happen in 2018, April 2018, in the O2. I think one of the reasons, I think they said Billy Joe was injured in that, in the lead up to the April date, but a lot of people were saying it was to do with ticket sales. I think that's probably accurate. They pushed it back to July, and I think that the issue then was Billy Joe, I think, was injured, but I think it was more to do with the fact that they were trying to get a Triple G fight or a Canelo fight. I think it was the Triple G fight, which never came about. So I think that was the main reason. It meant Billy Joe was out of the ring for a year and couldn't build on the success of the Lemieux fight in terms of just getting his popularity over and stuff like that, because he was riding the crest of a wave in that performance. A lot of people were talking about it, and then for him to just not fight for a year later against Ndamu on the undercard. He actually fought on the undercard of Frampton Warrington. It was very early in the night though. It's not a good look. But now, as I said, against Martin Murray is beyond washed up at this stage. He really is. The guy retired after the Hassan and Dam fight, came back. It's a last crack at a world title. I can't see him winning this fight. I can't see this fight being competitive. I can't see this fight being too pleasing on the eyes, because Martin Murray's never been the most entertaining guy to watch. Billy Joe, he's been in some fights that have been okay, but he's been in some pretty dull fights as well. So You know, this is probably a 12 rounder. This is looking likely to be a 12 rounder. Should be a routine title defence for Billy Joe. It has to be said, against Martin Murray. Martin Murray, I mean, as some people said in a video I done about him a little while ago, that he does deserve a world title fight because, you know, he was robbed against Martin. He fought Martinez 7 years ago. He's had world title shots against Arthur Abraham since then, and he lost that fight. He did. I mean, I don't really know how you can use that as justification for him having a world title fight now at this stage of his career, especially when he retired and he's fought two guys with, you know, terrible records. I don't know how you can justify him having a world title fight now, but, you know, it is what I don't even know how he got ranked. You know, at super middleweight, you know, all things considered, he's fought two no-hopers on MTK shows. So, you know, make it out what you will. This fight's happened on a Friday, by the way, as well. You know, the dates they were talking about were November 28th and December 5th. Obviously, November 28th is Dubois-Joyce. I'd rather see that fight. I know many of you would rather see that fight if we had to choose. Obviously, December 5th is the date that Tyson Fury looks set to make his homecoming. You know, obviously, it's not been officially announced yet, but we're all expecting that announcement to come. And that undercard is looking good. You've got Andy Yard, Lyndon Arthurs, Isaac Dogbay versus Conlon. You know, that's actually a good fight. That's a really good fight. That could be a real good fight. So that's looking like a good card. You were never going to be able to compete with that anyway, no matter, unless maybe you were AJ or someone like that. You'd have a hard time competing with that. So it is what it is. We're going to get to see this on a Friday. Let me know your thoughts. What are your thoughts on Martin Murray as the opponent? Look, as I said, every time he's stepped to world level, he's lost. And that was even when he was a lot fresher. Right now, I don't see this being too difficult for Billy Joe, but at the end of the day, I'd rather see Billy Joe fight someone a little bit better. You know, someone who is a little bit more dangerous, you know, sort of way. But, hey, is what it is. This is what we got. Let me know your thoughts. Do you give Martin Murray a chance? Leave it in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, smash the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe, of course, if you guys are new to the channel. You see more ripped jeans like this, you know, king of ripped jeans. Hashtag G-Man's rocks. So, smash the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe, of course, if you guys are new to the channel. I've been G-Man. I'll talk to you people. Peace.